Hi, I'm Cass, and this is my 1 credit clear of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs on the hardest difficulty. See me turning it up there, level 7/level 3. So, this is a 1993 beat-em-up by Capcom. Not too dissimilar from their other beat-em-ups. This is one with a dash. That's a big part of the game. I am playing as Mess on the hardest difficulty. Mess is the big grappler guy, for lack of a better description. The Hagar of the game, except if Hagar had an extremely fast dash, they could go into an extremely fast dash jump. I mean, everyone in this game has an extremely fast dash, but you know, he's the grappler with an extremely fast dash. You have all of your usual, fighting game moves, jab, jab, jab. Either 3 jabs into a finisher, or 3 jabs and hold up or down to throw someone. You can throw someone the same way after an auto combo like that, or the opposite way. You can just walk up to someone and grab them straight away. You got a massive dash, you can do a dash jump attack. You got a super joy, or whatever you want to call it, the get off me attack that costs a bit of health if it touches someone. And using that attack is also how you drop items that you're holding. So I wanted to use that to drop that shotgun, because I want to carry that shotgun into the first boss. Makes it a bit easier. There we go. And I whiff a super joy there to drop the shotgun without spending any health, because you only lose health if you hit someone with that. I can't carry both the grenade and the shotgun into the boss without it being annoying, so I throw the grenade at that little barrel. Little did I know I'd already knocked the guy into the little barrel. Anyway, let's go. Stage 1 boss. That's all I wanted it for. You shoot that dinosaur twice with the shotgun, and it goes away. Dinosaurs turn orange in this game when they get angry at you, and then turn green again when they're fine. So the way this boss works is you knock him down, you try and hit him on wake up. Sometimes he will jump over you, sometimes he will jump in front of you and do a kick. So, just try and meet him with a jab. If he jumps over you, chase him down, like that, and if he jumps in front of you, just move out of the way and hit him. That's basically it. Once he goes into this mode, once he goes into his normal movement, where he is not jumping, he's not just landed for a jump, he is running around in neutral, he is very annoying to deal with. He can jab you from pretty far away. Spoilers for the rest of the game, this boss will return as like a regular elite enemy. He's like the strongest non-boss enemy in the rest of the game. There we go, just finishing him off with a super joy. I've got the health, why not? So yeah, that boss will return as a regular enemy, and what you want to do when he does is just chase him down as hard as you can. Try not to let him go back to neutral, and if he does go back to neutral, you start throwing other enemies at him. Anyway, there you go, stage finished. Stage 2, you can just run past all of these, pick up this Uzi with 48 shots, and then just start shooting enemies with it. Don't really need to save this one for anything. I like the little taka-taka-takas when you shoot. These big guys are trying to walk up to that T-Rex. If you leave them alone, they'll punch the T-Rex a couple of times, it'll wake up, it'll turn orange, it'll run around just kind of wreaking havoc on the stage. Oh, there's some knife guys. There they go. So those guys just kind of poked their head in, threw one knife and ran away, but you are going to get ones that stay on screen a little longer than that. First one in a second. And yeah, so the big difference between normal and hardest is that on hardest, the enemies are quite a bit more, they're quite a bit more aggressive. But even then, a lot of these enemies are not particularly hard to deal with. Like, compared to, say, Final Fight enemies, which is the other beat-em-up I've been playing recently, every enemy we've seen so far, aside from like the stage 1 boss, is very, very chill. These knife guys even, you can just kind of run up to them and bully them, they don't do much. This guy here, Lash T, has a little ball on a rope that can reach very, very far horizontally and hit you, but if you stay in his face and you knock him down, you can just kind of knock him down, hit him again on wake up, hit him again on wake up, repeats. So he's a little annoying. If there's another very strong enemy on screen with him, like taking your attention, then he can get annoying, but as long as you're allowed to pay attention, as long as you're allowed to focus your attention on that guy, he's not much of a big deal at all. Yeah, a couple of enemies here, you're pretty much guaranteed to go into the second boss with full health. You know what? I should clarify, if I ever act like part of the game is very easy, I mean, it's very easy once you're at the point where you're going for 1 credit clear runs, it's, this was very hard to me at first. Yes, this is the stage 2 boss, sometimes jumps at you like that, and has very strong horizontal attacks, so you kind of want to stay, up or down from him, so he can't attack you horizontally. There we go. And because the enemies are kind of chill in this game, even though those 2 enemies are just kind of walking around near me, I'm not particularly scared of them running up and jabbing me. They'll just very, very slowly walk up to me. And yeah, eventually jab me once they're close to me. Here you go. And this guy will sometimes jump on wake up if you're very close to him, but as long as you stay far enough away from him on wake up that you're pretty much hitting him with the tip of your very, very long range jab, your very long arm, he won't do this thing very often. There you go. And when he does do that on wake up though, he will bounce over and over again as long as there's an enemy near him until he eventually lands not too close to anyone and will do, you know, land, do a little bounce and then go back to normal. But yeah, that's the enemy. You just want to hit him with the tip of your jab, punch, punch, punch into knockdown. Sorry, punch, punch, punch into throw. Use the knockdown from the throw to knock all the other enemies out of the way so you can hit him again when he wakes up, and you repeat until he's dead. Remember that, because that's most of the bosses in this game. Stage 3 is a cutscene. You know those like sections in like Gears of War and shit, like 360 era games where you just do a walkie-talkie? You just walk along, talk to people. That is what this section is. Okay, you're in the car. You can let go of the controller until the boss fight if you want. I'm just doing this because I want it to look like something's happening, you know? I want to pretend I'm playing the game. Could have given the controller to like, you know, a baby cousin or something, let them play for a little bit. I guess if you're playing for score, you care about trying to hit the maximum things possible. But yeah, this is, you know, this is nothing. And then the boss moves in front of you and throws grenades back at you. It can be hard to bump into him. If you just hold left constantly, so I'm holding left constantly, then moving up with up left and down with like the down left diagonal, he thinks you're moving left. Even if you're, you know, even if you're being held still by the wall at the back of the screen, and he will just repeatedly back into you and take damage. It is very rare that I blow up the car before I take him out. I wasn't really paying attention there, but you know, because I got so much more health than him, I can just trade down the last little bit of health by doing this, making myself invincible. Yeah, there we go. Usually on that stage, I just, you know, make him bump into me until he gets taken out, and I don't have to worry about any of the other stuff, but that's fine, here we go. And yeah, once you are, what's the word? If you've been playing the game a lot to the point where you're going for a clear, everything up to here is very, very, very chill. The real Cadillacs and Dinosaurs starts in about 1 minute. After this fight, we go indoors, and then the real game starts. We want to save that shotgun, want to save as many shots as possible for the next fight. Because the next fight's pretty tricky. It's like you're fighting. The next fight is when they first reintroduce the stage 1 boss as a regular enemy, but like you really don't want to lose all your health on it because there's not that much healing between the like this next encounter and the end of the stage. So a little heal here. Again, I'm gonna carry this shotgun a bit until I see the first barrel on the screen. Drop it, then walk up to that line on the floor. Stand there, so I'm perfectly lined up with this guy to take him out. Then you walk into this encounter with full health and you just start blasting. Because if an enemy hits you while you're holding a gun, I don't know if it's always or only when it's not full ammo. If they hit you, you will drop it on the ground and it will instantly disappear and it won't come back. Yeah, grenades are decent, they do decent damage. If you dash while you have a grenade and you throw it... Oops, I should have thrown that guy. Okay, I messed up this fight very bad. There we go. Yeah, if you dash while you throw a grenade, you just send it flying really far, you throw dynamite, it explodes in a second, you get the idea. It's really not ideal that I took that much damage in that fight, but it could be worse. And then, you know, again, another very chill fight. Picking up that grenade, there's nothing I particularly need the grenade for, so I just throw it at these guys, why not? It's a little mini heal here. And this has made the classic beat-em-up mistake of putting a wall, like putting a corner in the middle of the stage that you can wedge yourself in. So you can wedge yourself in the corner and do this. And now no one can get behind me, which is very handy, because these little guys here, they're like the flea men in Castlevania or something. Like, if they jump around, they will, you know, go flying at you from a distance, jab you, interrupt whatever you're doing. I've been talking about how, you know, a lot of the enemies don't really deal much damage to you, or sorry, don't really pose much of a threat on hardest. You can just like run up and hit them. Those little guys who hop around, the ones who are called punk or thug, depending on, you know, there's 2 versions of them. Those are a threat. Those are absolutely a threat. Whenever they're on screen, they'll make any encounter much more annoying. You'll get them in a lot of boss fights. Okay, you can kind of throw this on the floor, wait a second, boom. I don't think that health drop there is guaranteed. I got lucky that I got a little mini heal there. And this Uzi is what I'm going to be using against the boss. So what I want to do is pick up a different weapon instead. The boss is just after this fight here. Use the rifle so I can hold on to the Uzi. I got 500,000 points, so it gave me the first of 2 1-ups. There we go, and that thing down there is a full ammo refill, so I'm like, well, I might as well use all the ammo on these guys. Pick up the full ammo refill after this. And yeah, I managed to play well enough to go into this boss fight with full health, which is very handy. So this is Slice. He's very annoying, but what we're going to do first, before we fight him, is we're going to spend all of this ammo. So you want to just do like 5 shots to knock him down. Okay, I accidentally did 6 shots there, that's fine. And you're just going to kind of want to conserve as much ammo as possible. So, you know, because you want to fight this guy as little as possible. He'll do a few things. He'll just kind of run around. Sometimes he'll go at you in a straight line like that and you knock him down. When he gets up, you want to try and... I mean, it's hard enough to do this because there's other enemies in the way. But if you're left alone with him and you knock him down... Oh, I can't do it there because he's off screen. You want to just punch him on wake up. Or grab him on wake up. If you see that he's crouching... Oh, I got this little flea guy interrupted what I was doing. If you see that he's crouching on wake up, like you go to hit him and he crouches under you, you want to immediately walk up and try and throw him. Because he's about to do a big... Okay, I got him. If he crouches under you on wake up, he's about to do a big invincible throw 10,000 boomerangs type thing. And the way to get around that is to grab him immediately, go into a throw, get the iframes, dodge through it. So he's a very tricky boss. You will be spending a lot of time practicing him because, spoilers, one of the later bosses is a more powerful version of him, and that boss is harder than everything else in the game combined. Like, it is easier to, you know, clear the entire game with like 2 deaths or less than it is to clear that boss with 2 deaths or less. It's a very funny balance. So yeah, if you're learning this game, you'll be practicing fighting Slice a lot. So this fight here is another one of those big guys want to punch that T-Rex and wake it up and make your life much harder kind of fights. And again, the dinosaurs turn orange when they go aggro, so you want to stay away from that little orange raptor or it'll fight you too. There we go. Yeah, whatever you do, your goal here is take out these guys, don't wake up the T-Rex. And the first half of the stage is tricky. There's a lot of fights in a row with no heal. I'm doing very well to be full health here. It should be very easy to get to the big heal. I say foreshadowingly. Yeah, just kind of punch your way through here. May as well carry that bazooka into the next encounter. So you don't really need it on any of these guys. So yeah, carry it somewhere safe, bottom of the screen. Whiff that move. To drop it, I accidentally didn't whiff a move because that guy walked into my range, so now I'm not on full health. Now I'm on 95% health. Wouldn't it be funny if that got me killed? Haha. And scroll a bit more. Fight with a couple of these guys, and it is about to introduce a new enemy type. Okay, so there's him, and here's Blanca. I mean, here's Bludge. My mistake. So that's Bludge. Bludge hops around a lot. Bludge has very, very, very powerful horizontal attacks, far-reaching horizontal attacks. You don't want to be on the same plane as him. There you go, he can just kick you like that. And I'm suddenly 60% health. I'm trying to save that gun, because I really want the gun in this next fight to make it a little bit easier. Bludge will also eat items on the floor, so you want to protect that gun. You don't want Bludge to eat the gun, because you want to use the gun in this fight. Okay, so this fight's very tricky. It's right, just like 1 centimeter to my right, off the screen. As soon as this fight's over, it'll spawn a bunch of barrels to heal me to full. So all I'm trying to do here is... not be anywhere near that guy while he's moving around in neutral. I really, really, really want to grab that, the big guy, Walter. Never mind. Grab him as soon as he wakes up. And don't let him run around. I got a bit greedy, jumped into everyone, got hit, there goes one of my lives. I'm kind of expecting to lose 1 or 2 lives in the late game. Like, a good fight against Slisaurs for me is you lose 1 life, a bad fight is you lose 2 lives, so... and you're allowed 3 deaths in an entire run. So even at this point, I'm like, I hope I don't die for the rest of this stage, or stage 6, or any of stage 7 up to the Slisaurs boss. So yeah, you want this Uzi here in the boss fight. So you want to be very, very careful not to let any of these guys tap you once, even with a jab, because if any of these guys tap you once with a jab, you will drop the Uzi and it'll instantly despawn. There you go, full ammo. There's a lot of people in this next fight who will ambush you and, you know, probably make you drop your Uzi. Oh, I didn't take out that guy. So I just put it on the floor. It's safer to keep the Uzi on the floor in this fight here. Because, you know, if you take a tiny bit of damage, you can pick up that coffee on the floor to heal. But if they tap the Uzi out of your hand, then you don't get the Uzi in the first half of the stage 5 boss fight. Stage 5 boss fight. There you go. I felt like it was safe to do that. I don't know why I felt like it was safe to do that, but I did. So, you know, these a lot of these like basic rifle guy enemies are very, very, very slow and chill, and they don't really interrupt you much unless they get very close to you. You can kind of just walk up near them, pick something up, and run away. Okay. Here's another boss that you want to just kind of spend all of your Uzi ammo on. Oh, you have a special move if you tap down, up, attack. I don't do it on purpose. I accidentally did it by mistake there. I believe that's the only one I do in the entire run. In case you're wondering why I did just like a weird little flip then. Anyway. So yeah, this guy, he's very annoying. Runs around being annoying. If he throws grenades like that, you want to just dunk him. If he does a little jump like that into machine gun fire, you kind of want to step up or down outside of his range and then run in and punch him on the recovery. But it started spawning the flea men, who are going to interrupt anything I try and do. There we go. Okay, on wake up, you can punch him like that to knock him down again, but you really have to hit with the very tip of your jab. That is the hardest spacing, I think, of any boss in the game. I think everyone else is a bit more lenient about, you know, about how far away you can be without him doing a reversal on you. Okay, so that was the first phase. That was the harder of the two phases. Second phase is this big guy. He will do big damage to you. He outranges you horizontally by far, but he can't really do anything vertically. So if you just move up or down from him... Oh, and he'll do a big reversal if you stand near him. Don't wake up. So you just move up or down out of his range, force him to walk into you. Dunk him. The big threat here is... Uh-oh. Yeah, run away as soon as he looks like he's lining up horizontally from you. It's like, just run. And, you know, you do have a dash in this game, so running away is not quite as hard as it seems a lot of the time unless you get jabbed out of it. So yeah, all I'm doing here is force him to walk up or down. Okay. He's low enough health that I'm just going to pick up the Uzi and fire. The reason I don't just use the Uzi straight away is that, like, at the start of the second phase, it's kind of chill. There aren't really many other enemies on screen. It's already pretty easy without the Uzi. Might as well just drop it, save it for later, pick it up if things go wrong, like that. There we go. Yeah, I suddenly wasn't feeling so bad about this run at this point, because yeah, I died, but... You know, I died once in a pretty bad place, in a place where I really don't usually die, but I've survived a couple of places where I do sometimes die. And this is stage 6, the enemies just kind of fight you one at a time, so you should let them fight you one at a time, why not? Yeah, you just kind of punch these guys as they spawn, unless they happen to jab you in the little tiny gap between your wall of jabs that you're mashing. I've not seen that happen to me before. I've practiced this game a lot. I don't know how that one hit me. Yeah, did a little jump kick over whatever I was doing. I'm a little surprised that these very basic enemies have damaged me so much at this point, but that's alright. We're about to go into the coal mine. Not the coal mine, the coal mine. You'll see it in a second. As soon as I walk past the center of that barrel. At the bottom of the screen. There we go, coal mine. And yeah, so it's very easy to loop this guy. It's very hard to stay on Walter, the other guy. Oh, damn it. So I normally pick up the spiky ball and rope guy, whatever you want to call him, and just like throw him at the other guy, which kind of messed up there. You really want to come into the section with full health, because if you come into the section with full health, you can pick up that barrel and carry that burger into the next section. Which means, you know, you get another big 50% heal during that next section, but because I'd already taken 50% damage, I just broke the barrel. I just ate the burger, why not? And yeah, these guys come in from the bottom of the screen, I just stay at the top of the screen. Start of the fight. Oops. And yeah, this is another ball and rope guy plus stage 1 boss refight, kinda. There you go. This is what they do in this game when they're like, we want to have like a big scary elite enemy encounter. They put these two guys together, which is understandable because they're pretty tough together. Because yeah, the stage 1 boss guy, he requires a lot of focus. One of the few times outside of boss fights that I bother to use super joys in this game. Oh, I hit 1,000,000 points, which is what why I just suddenly stopped to do a little celebration animation. Yeah, flashing lights here. Heads up if you're sensitive to that kind of thing for the next minute or two. This section, you just walk it, because if you run, you will outrun those barrels and they will despawn. And you don't want to do that, because the second of those 2 center barrels, there you go, contains a big 50% heal. Which you want to save until after this little encounter. Unless you accidentally pick it up by fighting an enemy too close to it, like I did then. My bad, that wasn't on purpose. And yeah, this section here, You barely have any heals between this and... the dinosaur foot is nothing. You just stand out of the way of it when it's about to stomp. It looks cool, but it's like, it poses basically no threat. But yeah, you pretty much have no heals between this and the boss at the end of the stage. You fight a bunch of these guys one at a time, and after that, some of the big guys will run at you from the right-hand side, like now. I didn't grab them fast enough. I should have just super droid there. My bad. I suppose they didn't do that much damage. It's fine. And yeah, you really, really, really want to hold on to as much health as you can here, because every piece of damage matters here, because you're probably not going to heal it before the boss at the end of the stage. And you fight a couple of Blancas after this. That guy shot at me with a gun, so I thought I was really clever by throwing through it, and then he shot at me with a gun for a second time. I didn't know they could shoot twice like that. And then I let Blanca kick me in the face. And you get a teeny tiny, like, 10-20% heal before the boss at the end of the stage. So at this point, I'm like, well, I already died on stage 5, and I'm going to die on this boss because my health's so low. I didn't really think my chances of clearing the game were particularly good, but I played on. Why not? Eat a solid. Fight exactly one basic enemy, and time for the boss. So this boss is similar to the stage 5 boss first phase in a sense, in that he just kind of hops around. It's much easier than the stage 5 boss first phase though. Hops around, combo him, knock him down, accidentally through the other guy. If you stand too close to him and wake up, he'll do like an invincible reversal attack. So what you want to do is hit him with the tip of your jab when he gets up, without all the other enemies interrupting you. If that enemy didn't jab me out of the way, it would have been good. Okay, here we go. Jab, 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 dunk. Stand at maximum jab range, do it again. Stand at maximum jab range, do it again. Stand at maximum, you know, do this until he's dead. I think I had to back off a bit then, because if I stood too close to him, he would have invincible reversaled me. There we go. Done. He has a second phase. The second phase is, okay, imagine the first phase. What if it was orange? That's the second phase. If you leave him alone, he'll shoot like a big fireball horizontally. Depending on the timing of when you kill the first phase, sometimes there'll be a gap of like 20 seconds with no more enemies spawning. If that happens to you, I suggest you just take down the boss as soon as you can and be happy that there are no other enemies spawning. If enemies do spawn and like drop knives on the floor when they get taken out, I tend to just use the time between boss phases to just throw all the knives onto the screen. Oops. Again, you just want to keep looping the bosses like this until other enemies stop you from doing it. If there are lots of enemies behind you and you really need to reposition, remember that you have a gigantic full... Oh yeah, he has a third phase, by the way. There you go. Third phase is... he's kind of blue. Yeah, that's it. That's the boss. Yeah, if you do find that you're hitting him but all the enemies are behind you getting in your way, remember that you can just use your gigantic full screen dash punch to get to the other side of the screen. Yeah, here's stage 7. Just kind of dunk all of these guys. You don't get much healing in the first half of stage 7. You really want to be careful. Oh, I haven't mentioned that when you dash, if you let go of all the directions, you keep going. Oh yeah, I just want to wait for this guy to get a bit lower so I can awkwardly do my little kicky. There you go. Get out of here, Zeke. And yeah, you just want to fight these guys. There will be a motorbike on the top left in a second. You want to move down away from that and then go back up to the top. There you go. Dunk. But yeah, you can use your gigantic dash punch to get to the other side of the screen and then get the boss to chase you there, and then, you know, there won't be enemies behind you anymore. It's very useful for repositioning. This section, you just want to run really fucking fast, and there's like a million enemies that spawn behind you. So quick, just grab a bazooka, take them down. That section feels so good. Just run as fast as you can, pick up a bazooka, explode everyone with it. There's a lot of potential for taking damage here. And there'll be a guy spawning on the right in a second, so you kind of just want to creep him on the screen like that so he gets stuck. And then these guys can quite easily get behind you, there you go. So you just want to grab them as soon as possible, stack them all up, punch them down. It is very possible for that section to get completely out of control very quickly. And then when you want to fight this guy, you can just jab combo into a grab ender, which will grab him through the wall. Oh, the dashing throw works for stones as well as grenades. There you go. And again, this is just a bunch of these regular guys. We're far enough into the game and we're playing on hardest mode that, you know, the rank's getting pretty high up. They'll start doing their little spin kick move, or, you know, the little jump kick move like that. They'll start loading their gun and shooting at you. So you do want to be careful fighting these guys. Keep an eye out for their other moves. Not quite as helpless as they look. Here's a grenade. More just kind of chill guys to fight. Punch, punch, punch. Knock them down. Another small heal. Those guys spawn, but if you just grab another enemy like that, just grab an enemy and use the iframes to get through those guys, it's pretty chill. It's standard beat 'em up stuff. Oops. Yeah, I should have been paying attention to the shadows then to see those knife guys spawning on the screen. Oh yeah, this is pretty chill. You mostly just want to get through the section with like at least like 10-20% health. There's like a quite easy section after this, and then lots of heals after that. There you go. And what's coming up now is this game's elevator section, which you'd think would be hard. It's usually hard in these beat-em-up games, because, you know, you've got to kill the enemies fast, because the other enemies are spawning on a timer, ready or not. But the time is fairly lenient, as long as you remember that, like, if you just punch into the normal combo ender like that, instead of into a grab ender, remember that that is where your damage comes from. So, you know, only use the grab enders if you need the iframes or if you need the repositioning, otherwise just punch, 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 punch. And it's pretty chill, you get plenty of time. Okay, things can go wrong here. Ah! And I let that guy hit me down. And I let that guy hit me in the back when I was trying to combo into a grab. And then let that guy punch me down. Okay, and now it's suddenly a real match. Or, you know, there's suddenly a real threat of dying. And I just start throwing that dynamite down because, you know, it's going to hit someone, probably. It's probably going to speed things up, having that dynamite on the screen compared to not having it on the screen. There. Okay, I'm back. There you go. So it can get a bit scrambly if you mess up the elevator section, but, like, you can get back on track. It's not impossible. And yeah, thankfully those big guys who spawn, they do drop food items that heal, like, 20%. There you go, everyone's stacked up. Everyone's stacked up. You, get in the corner. Everyone's stacked up. Everyone's stacked up. And that's all you do in the elevator. You stack everyone up onto one side, you blow them up. And these are just basic enemies. Those guys there behind you spawn on the timer. This whole section's very easy. You just... I don't know why this section's here. This is filler. You just hit them. There's nothing to say. Bunch of guys at the bottom of the screen. Who cares? One of those little flea man guys spawns at the top right. Want to take him out before everyone else. And you want to stay on the left side of the screen because it's going to unlock the screen and let you scroll soon, but you don't want to do that. You really don't want to scroll the screen. You really, really do not want to get knocked onto the right-hand side of the screen here, whatever you do. So you got to be a little careful about that. Which is why I'm... Oh yeah. If you get close to those guys and they do like a little knee jab, like a knee kick thing, whatever you want to call it, hit you with their knee, they will do 2 of them into that every time. So, you know, watch out for that. Don't just dodge one of those hits and then go in. Okay, lots of barrel spawn. The top one has health in. That's kind of what you're doing here. Is you're slowly scrolling the screen, punching these barrels one at a time, get the health that comes out. You get a lot of healing. There you go, another heal. Oops. It's going to spawn 3 barrels, top, middle, bottom at the same time. There you go. None of them have heals in, so, you know, you can just jump over these if you want. I don't really have a setup that uses that dynamite, so I think I'm just going to throw it away. Yeah. And you get 3 blancas, 3 bludgers, sorry. Just kind of want to punch one of them max range, pull them onto the left. The other one sometimes will wake up before you take out the first one, but, you know, at least this, like, minimizes the amount of overlap. It doesn't get you, like, full 1v1 fights from start to finish, but close enough. And yeah, you take out 3 of these guys, and then there'll be another couple of small fights, and then some other stuff. You want to stay at the bottom of the screen here. Do as I say, not as I do. Stay at the bottom of the screen, because there's going to be 3 barrels spawning, and the bottom contains like a big heal. Which is why you want to stay at the bottom and not walk up to the top of the screen now, because what if you miss that heal at the bottom of the screen? Like that. Yeah, don't do that. It's a bad mistake. Thankfully I'm on more than 50% health, so it doesn't matter that much, because there's another 50% heal in a second, but, you know, it matters sometimes, just not this time. Some points, a heal. I tend not to use melee weapons in this game. as mass. He doesn't seem that good at them. Okay. These guys don't really care what you're doing as long as you're not hitting them. It's not their problem. They're on the smoke break. But there is like a fairly strict time limit here. Oops. So you do want to take them out pretty quickly. You don't just want to sit around for ages. And you really, really, really want to go into this next boss, which I've hinted at already, with as much health as possible, as many lives as possible. Do not take damage to these guys if you can help it. You know, it's just the usual beat 'em up things. Grab one guy, use the iframe from your grab to iframe through everyone else. Honestly, they can't do a whole lot about you, just like dash jump punching up to them like that. Okay, so this is Slisaurs. They're very difficult. It's like Slice, the stage 4 boss, but like now there's 2 of them. That by itself is like horrifying. So yeah, you want to knock one of them down. Grab and punch one of them. This boss fight gets 100 times easier when there is just one of them left. All you care about, for the most part, is how fast you can take one of them down. If you're like, you know, if you take one of them down and the other one has like 90% health, that is about as good as taking one of them down and the other one has 10% health. Like, any damage you're doing to like the one that has more health left is basically wasted. You know, you'll deal with the other one in a 1v1 fight, which is very easy for the most part. So you just want to grab one as much as possible. Ugh. Got me on makeup. Okay, I grabbed him, but I accidentally jumped out. And yeah, sometimes they run around like that. It's hard to keep track of which one is which one's the low health one. Sometimes they'll do that. Sometimes you'll see them run straight at you in a straight line. If you see them run straight at you in a straight line, they're going to do that thing, that like slice attack thing. And when that happens, you can just jump over it and kick them. But yeah, it is hard to keep track of everything that goes on. Oops, that's my bad. Okay, I'm 1 hit away from dying again. I've accepted that this might be a... Yep, this might be a 2-death Slisaurs, which means I can't die between now and the end of the game. But yeah, that's this boss. It's very hard to approach them in neutral, but you do get some lingering invincibility after you finish your Super Joy, even if it whiffs. And you know, whiffing it doesn't cost health. So sometimes if you're stuck in neutral against this guy, you can just walk away, whiff Super Joy, and then use the iframes to chase him down. I didn't bother doing it there because, you know, it's not a big deal. Okay, now I run away, whiff Super Joy. Oh no. I ran away, reacted to what he did, saw that he was running at me in a straight line. And you know, I know the way around that is to jump in and jab him. Oops. And yeah, once you knock this guy down, you knock him down, run into him, grab him on wake up. Pummel him if no one's nearby, dunk him down if someone is nearby. And that's the boss. You will spend a lot of time practicing that boss. No 2 Slisaurs fights are the same. The gist of it is, you know, grab him, dunk him down, grab him, dunk him down, grab him, dunk him down over and over again. If you grab him when no one else is nearby, maybe you can pummel him a couple of times. Maybe you can get away with like jab, 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 and then throwing him. Who knows? But you know, most of the time someone else is going to be nearby, so you just want to do like grab, dunk. Anyway, final stage. Fight these 2 guys. Oops. Don't let him throw you. The first part of the final stage is pretty important. There's like quite a few fights before you get a heal, so you don't want to get taken out. Yeah, these, you know... Yeah, I sometimes forget in fights... I don't know what he's doing there. Just circling around that knife, trying to grab it and eat it, I guess. Sometimes I forget in these fights where there's one big elite enemy and lots of other small enemies, is that the small enemies aren't respawning. Just because this fight has similar dynamics to the boss fights in this game doesn't mean it has respawning regular enemies like a boss fight. So if you're in this fight and you like Blood just being annoying and evasive, you can just go take out the other enemies and wait for him to come to you. Oh yeah, you want to punch the middle guy. Get a grenade and a gun if you need them. Yeah, this fight's kind of chill. Grab a drink of water or whatever. Well, not if you're the one playing it, I guess. And then, yeah, there's going to be one more fight in a second. When you get to number 11 on the screen. There you go. And yeah, this is Tyrog. It's the stage 6 boss, except, again, these guys... Oops, accidental special move again there. Forgot I did that one. Except these guys, as far as I'm aware, don't respawn indefinitely. So if Tyrog's not chasing you, let's go fight the other enemies. Why not? They're gonna stop respawning soon. Whoops. Didn't notice that one there. Dunk. He's off doing his thing in the corner. May as well fight the other enemies. And now there's just one guy left. Who just gotta fight by himself. Yay. Dunk. Very relaxing. And this next section is extremely easy, which is a weird thing to say about the final stage of beat 'em up. But yeah, I don't know. They forgot to put anything remotely challenging in this section. You can skip forward if you want. I don't think you need to practice this. Like, all you need to know is that, hey, those things there that shoot the fire, you can punch them. If you're playing this game yourself, if you're good enough to make it this far in the game, I think you can just blind play this section and not take any damage. There's nothing to say about it. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Which is kind of interesting to, like, how did this section end up so easy? I imagine the answer is balancing, and, it probably had some sort of balance change close to release, I imagine. Like, the development times on these games are pretty tight. Oh, this guy here is the one thing you do have to learn, I guess, is that, if you stand here, you can just kind of awkwardly jab him two punches at a time like that. If you drop down to try and fight him, he'll probably hit you. So you just want to do that awkward thing. Looks silly, but is effective. Don't dunk him down like that. Don't throw him to the left. I don't know why I did that. It's a really just awkward, slow thing, but it doesn't matter. Not taking damage either way. So this section is very easy, but I do care quite a bit about not taking damage. You really, really want to go into the... Oh, after this, there's like another fairly tricky section. And you really want to go through that whole section with as much health as possible. Because that section is followed up by like a big full heal. But the big full heal is in a barrel that you can carry into the final boss fight. And the final boss on normal mode is just a complete cakewalk, like easier than the stage 1 boss, easiest thing in the game. The final boss on hardest is quite a bit more dangerous. So you really do want that heal. Like that extra... effectively that extra health bar, or that extra 3/4 of a health bar or whatever, goes a long way. Yeah, here's some more guys who you can fight one at a time. Fairly chill. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Punch, 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 dunk, rather. Punch, 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 dunk. If you don't want to wake the rest of the group up, you tend to auto-combo into throwing someone away from the group. You want to drop this Uzi... Especially on hardest, you want to drop this Uzi and fight this guy before you continue. If you leave that guy alive, he will sometimes, if he feels like it, just shoot you in the back, and his bullets will go downhill with you and will follow you. So what do you want to do here? Just keep as many barrels on screen as possible. There you go, and super joy through all of them at the bottom. Because it feels really good. Yeah! I don't know how, like, health positive you go after that. I think it's worth it on health, usually. I just do it because it feels really good. I assume the math is there in your favor. Okay, we're coming up to the hardest fight, the hardest pre-boss fight, I guess. There's going to be a couple of enemies charging you from the left. Second one in a second. Oh, guess I'm carrying that gun with me. I don't want to use my gun on this because I want to use it in the hard fight. There you go. Punch, punch, punch. I'm putting the gun down because I don't want to use it at the start of the hardest fight. So there's one Walter, who's, the big threat, and there's this Lash guy. I just kind of want to use Lash for iframes, like you do with like a Hollywood in Final Fight. You knock him down, they get up, use them for iframes. Oh shit, I messed up. Okay, and after you take out one enemy, there you go, a second Walter spawns. And this is the hard part. Which is why you just use the gun to deal with it. There you go. Okay. Good enough. I got very lucky that Walter didn't punch me then. Okay, run. Yeah, fighting these Walters is one of the few times I will just like super joy in neutral if the situation gets bad. I think that was better than the alternative. I think that was worth spending the 10% health or whatever super joy costs. yeah, there you go. There's going to be 2 more enemies chasing me from behind, so I've got to take this slow. There you go. And then there's going to be a big full heal, which I'm not going to use because I'm going to carry that big full heal into the boss fight. You know, if I was on like 30% health or something, sure, I'd just take the big full heal. No, why not? Yeah, that is that barrel there. You want to carry that one into the boss fight. So yeah, I take out these guys. I hug the very top edge of the screen. Because sometimes if those guys go off screen, they'll just punch that barrel out of spite, open it up. There you go. You want to hold forward while you press attack. Remember to hold forward while you press attack. Don't just walk right up to it, then let go of a direction and then attack, because then you'll punch that barrel, open it up, not be able to carry it into the final boss fight, die to the final boss, and waste your entire run, like I did a few days before this run. Okay, here's the final boss. Drop that down. So this is like the second phase of the stage 5 boss, except with no one helping him. This is the easiest boss fight in the entire game. I don't know why they did this. It feels pretty easy if you do it against the bottom of the screen like this. I don't know why they did this. You get the idea. You make him walk up or down into you, throw him into the center of the screen. So that's the first phase of the boss fight. I guess they just wanted the boss to have 2 phases, so they gave it a really embarrassingly easy first phase, and then he says a really cool thing in a second. He calls you pathetic fools. Then he says, "I finally done it. All the strength of the mighty dinosaur, my extreme intelligence, together in one body. The world is mine to control." I really like that. It's a smart guy and a dinosaur in one. Okay, so after this guy gets up, he's got a little invincibility before you can hit him. And as soon as he gets out of range of you horizontally, he will start poking you with his little dinosaur arms, and he can just go like poke, 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 and just take like 70% of your health. It's terrifying. Okay, I really fucked up there. Okay, let's take the health. And here, after you grab him, you immediately want to dunk him down. So you either want to get really close to him in the x-axis, right up in his face, and you know, he does move in a random direction on wake up. So if you notice that he has gotten out of your little stand on top of him and mash trap on wake up, then you just want to run as fast as you can, make distance, and just you'll approach him again in a bit. But yeah, you want to run up, do this a lot. If you accidentally walk up to him and grab him without doing the auto combo, just throw him straight away. Throw him straight away before he gets up. Like that. Ah shit, he's out of range. Run! Okay, I got lucky then. Okay, now he's out of range. Now I just gotta run, 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 run. Ow, ow, ow. Ideally, if you can, just, yeah, keep running until he commits to something like that. There you go. And I got him. And that is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. So yeah, very interesting game. Beats him up with a dash. There's definitely a lot of enemies that are kind of chill and non-aggressive, even on, and you know, I am playing on hardest mode. This is the game with the enemy aggression cranked up to maximum, way more than default. Still lots of very chill enemies. Which is a little weird coming from, like, you know, the team that made Final Fight. Or, you know, it's not the team that made Final Fight, the company that developed Final Fight. Which is fair enough, I guess. And, you know, like, everything before the, like, 30% of the way through stage 4 is very much just a waiting room once you're going for 4 runs of the game. There's some sections, like, you know, that middle part of the final stage, which are very, very easy. So definitely a lot of downtime by arcade standards, but the parts that aren't downtime, they're great, they rule. As soon as they start putting, like, Bludge and Walter and the big enemies on the screen, or as soon as they introduce, like, most of the bosses are great. For the most part. You know, some boring ones like the first phase of the final boss, but like, and admittedly a lot of the bosses are fairly similar. It's just like a guy that you want to loop over and over again, and lots of enemies that want to interrupt you looping, but they do a lot of interesting variations on the theme. So yes, it's a very interesting game. It's like, on paper, you know, it's got like big overpowered dash, lots of enemies who don't really contest that dash as much as they should, some like kind of chill sections, all this stuff. It feels like there's lots of things that should bug me, but I don't know. It's the parts that work, they work really well. It's good. It's cool. Oh, spoilers. Jack and Hannah didn't die in the end of the game. It's all good. It's fine. But yeah, fantastic game. It's neat. I recommend it. Absolutely worth a shot. And you know, if you want this game but easier, pick Mustafa and just run up to people and dropkick them. I imagine he doesn't trivialize the game or anything, but he does apparently make it decently easier. Yeah, cool game. Lots of cool stuff. I started out by hating Slisaurs. I practiced Slisaurs a lot, hated them the whole time. By the end of the game, by the time I got that clear, I think I like Slisaurs. I think it's a fun fight. It's scary. There's not really anything like them in any other game. There's so many interesting things, like the fact that they all run around so quickly, and the only way you can see the health bars is by hitting them, so if they run around fast enough, it's like that game where, you put the two cups, you put the ball under one of the cups, and then you shuffle the cups around really fast, and you got to keep track of the ball. It's like that. If you knock one of them down, deal a lot of damage to them, and you got to keep track of which one. The point is, weird game, cool game, lots of interesting stuff. I like it overall. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.